Welcome to Tammy Nation. Let's go.
From 9 to 5, been biting my tongue for all this time. Won't let anyone cut me short. I was thinking this was the way to go, and you put up your puppet show. I say cheers to life. No, I'll be no good man. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go.
Hey, good evening. Wednesday evening, everybody. It is May 10th, 2023. Welcome to Tammy Nation. It's been a hot minute since I've been on reporting about the news, but boy, there's so much going on in the news today. I couldn't believe it. I got home from work and I started going through the headlines and stuff, and I just couldn't believe everything that's going on. It feels like a crazy Monday, really, instead of a wacky Wednesday, but it's pretty busy out there, so I thought I'd cover a few things that are in the news that I think we need to pay attention to and stuff. And so welcome everybody. And I'm going to start off here with the Manhattan federal jury. Obviously, you've probably heard the news. They found former President Donald J. Trump liable for battery and defamation in a civil lawsuit. It was brought by E. Jean Carroll. So jurors did reward her $5 million in this case. And on the social media platform Truth Social that Trump owns, he posted in defiance of that verdict saying that he has no idea. Hey, Christopher Sandor, good to see you. He has no idea who this woman is, and he called the verdict a disgrace. So Trump's lawyer came out and told reporters the verdict that Trump can't get a fair jury in New York, and that it was wrong to run the tape Access Hollywood ran playing that Trump would appeal this verdict as well. So basically it's more shenanigans going on against Mr. T, and I think we all know why, but we'll cover some of that coming up. But this whole thing is crazy and chaotic. Basically, DC Drano reported on Truth Social that the statute of limitations for sexual assault in New York is typically 5 to 7 years. That New York even has a 20-year period for civil claims of sexual assault, but that wasn't enough to get Mr. T. So Jean Carroll's claims go back to the mid-90s. So what happened was New York amended that law in 2022 to provide unlimited statute of limitations for civil claims of sexual assault, and provided a 1-year window for pre-existing claims that could be litigated. And ironically enough, that's where this Jean Carroll lady comes in, because Jean Carroll this morning, hey Garrett, how are you doing? Jean Carroll admitted on CNN this morning that she helped, in quotations, New York Dems pass the 2022 law that extended the statute of limitations for sexual assault civil lawsuits beyond 20 years, which allowed her to sue Trump in that 1-year window. So the thing is, not only is this from the 1990s, and I'm not saying that, victims shouldn't be heard and accusations shouldn't be brought forth a court of law, but what I'm saying is this is from 1990. She never stepped up when this whole Stormy thing went on, and all these other accusations against Mr. T came out. But she was also, hey, Benjamin, it's good to see you. She also came out and admitted that she helped the Dems, pass this law extension. And then she goes after Mr. T in this 1-year window. So she is also funded by a Dem activist billionaire. So she helped change the state laws to allow her to help Trump, get Trump out and get a slander on his name. They don't want him to run. They want him out. You guys know this, but it just never ceases to amaze me that these people, how crooked and corrupt and deep this is with these people. There's nothing fair and legit out there when it comes to both sides and stuff. And I don't care what side you're on. It should be truthful, honest, and fair, and it's not. So basically this new law that was passed in New York, it was in the wake of the Me Too movement. It allows adults who say they were assaulted years ago to file a civil lawsuit after that limitations was met for criminal trial has passed. So basically this case with her was filed the day after that law went into effect, this new law. And this is the first case to come to trial. So go figure that. So basically that means we could probably see more of these cases, unfortunately, or fortunately. I mean, obviously, if it's happened and it's true, fine. But if it's not on the up and up and legit, I mean, it's a waste of time, money, and effort and everything. Hey, Paula, good to see you. Yes, it was a good day, Paula. It's been a busy day, news-wise, anyhow. So basically, the Dems, I think, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, no matter what side you're on, I just believe that the Dems are going all out to try to derail, sidetrack, once again, blemish on Mr. T's character, and just trying to take him out, because basically they know that not anybody's going to be able to just run against this man and win and do anything good for the country, right? They all are over here in the sidelines trying to do a play-by-play of what can we do next to take this man out, because they know running against him, who are they going to put out there? Who are they going to put up against to run against Mr. T? If it's not Mr. Biden again, think about how many illegal V word, we'll just say, so I don't get taken down, they're going to have to come up with a new person to run against him, to compete with him. How even compete with that? What do the Dems even have to run on? What good do they have to run on for this country? There's not a lot good going on that they can even run on. And I think they know that. They know that there's not a chance, and heck, to bring anybody that's going to be a substantial candidate to run against Mr. T. I've said this before, I don't hear anybody out there speaking about what good they're going to do for this country or anything like that. Mr. T is the only one that I've seen standing up for America, our rights, et cetera, et cetera. Like Mr. T or not, it is past that point. Being left or right, it's past that point. We should be at a point of Americans first, because these other stories that I have about what's going on is insanity too, including Title 42 that's getting set to expire and stuff. So I'm going to carry on a little bit here. Let me see, Garrett. Yes, she went on an interview with Anderson Cooper and made it uncomfortable, coming onto him long ago, calling rape sexy. She did exactly. I saw that video today, Garrett, and that's when Anderson Cooper actually cut the interview. He was trying to get out of it and go to commercial break. And on the other side of that commercial break, she had a completely different demeanor and stuff. So you got to wonder who said what to her. And, what did they tell her? Like, this isn't going well. You shouldn't be saying this, because she was completely different, which shows me that somebody gave her a good spanking or good talking to. She doesn't seem legit to me on the up and up. I know that people get uncomfortable in the public eye or in interviews and stuff, but the way she handled that interview was complete insanity. And you would know that handlers, people that go on TV and do interviews, have handlers. I hate that word, but a staff or a team that say, don't do this, don't act this way. There's people that teach you about manuals of, have your shoulders back, chest up, don't smile too much, et cetera, et cetera. They groom you in order to be able to do a competent interview where, you look trustworthy, et cetera, et cetera. So whoever was handling her at that time obviously didn't do a good job, because she was a chaotic mess in that interview. Hey, Cam Lamb, good to see you. So going on with this, basically, there's some other things ongoing with Mr. T as well. and is running across the papers as far as Mr. T, not with just this indictment and all this stuff that handed down. There's other stuff going on. Hey, Rokabit J, it's good to see you. It's been a minute, you guys. So also, let's not forget that Mr. T's also facing the criminal charges in New York over hush money payments, supposedly. He also faces $250 million civil trial, the possibility of charges here in Georgia, because he's being investigations by the DOJ with special counsel Jack Smith in the handling of the classified documents that we've all heard about, that the phone conversations and all his supposed efforts to undo 2020. So, Mr. T has a lot going on after him. And, you got to stop and think, why are they going after him? If it's just everything's legit, they should be going after the other side too. And instead of wasting all this time, effort, and money and going after him, where's their candidate that they're going to pump up? Where's their people? Where's their policies? Where's their people that they want to run? It's nothing about that. It's all about taking Mr. T out, airing his dirty laundry or making up dirty laundry against him. It's ridiculous to me. And let's not forget about this, you guys, either. They're going to believe this lady, this Carroll lady from the 1990s, right, who was involved in changing this law, is directly involved in changing this law. And then, like I said, within a year of this law going in, this is the first case, and she's a part of it. She's the one bringing the case against Mr. T. Hey, Camperman, it's good to see you too. But let's not forget, they did not believe Paula Jones' accusations against Bill Clinton, did they? Or Reid's accusations against big guy Mr. Biden himself. But they're going to believe Carroll against Mr. T. So you got to ask yourself, no matter what side of the fence you're on, you guys, why are they not questioning and believing these other women against, like I said, Biden or Billy Clinton? Why is it always Mr. T, Mr. T? They've already went down this road with Stormy. We know there's documentation out there that she said that Mr. T never gave her the money. It was the other guy. And that, she disclaimed it. There's paperwork on it. So they just keep throwing all this stuff out there to confuse people, to tarnish his reputation and his name, to get people sick and tired of hearing about Mr. T. So, there's already people that have Mr. T fatigue, saying, oh, I'm not going to go ahead and, put in a vote for him because he's not doing what I think he should be doing. So there's already that fatigue going on. But I'm saying, don't let that fatigue get to you. You have to stay alert. You have to pay attention. This is getting closer and closer to 2024, and we really have to pay attention to what's going on. Fatigue is no excuse. I mean, I feel like the country's at stake. You guys know the same thing. You feel the same way. So we have to stay up there, and we have to stay alert to what's going on out there. Also, this was funny too. You guys remember Representative Eric Swalwell, the one that had the dealings with Fang Fang? He's a reputable representation of congressman, isn't he? Well, he had to come out and give his 2 cents in on this Trump case. And he was saying that Trump is the party of the convicted sexual abuser. But you know what? That once again is a false statement, for the fact that, guess what? It is not a criminal trial. It was a civil trial. The case against Trump, he was not convicted of that. He was found liable for battery and defamation in a civil lawsuit. It was not what Eric Swalwell said it was. So I thought it was very interesting because media personality Doug Billings came out. He's the host of Right Side. I don't know if you guys have seen and or heard of him or not, but he came out and he states that the Trump verdict, he feels, is going to be overturned on appeal. Trump's already came out with his lawyers and said that he is going to appeal this, and why wouldn't he, right? But Doug came back at Eric, and he said that you sexually asserted yourself and probably did quite a 50 Shades number on a China spy, and you put our national security at risk. You made your career in this country a laughing stock, and then you ended it there. He goes, I ended it here because I'm actually helping you out with your intellectual immaturity for the time being. So I thought it was pretty good that Doug Billings came out against Eric Swalwell, because who's going to take what he says with any kind of validity at all? That guy, what Billings was the truth, and I'm glad that people are coming back and putting the truth out there of what these people have done and said. Everybody needs to be held accountable. It's not like people just make mistakes and we don't hold them accountable. These people are intentionally going at this country, trying to take it down. And I for one, am sick of it. I took a break for a little while. I was getting fatigued and stuff, but after I started looking at what was going on today, it kind of lit a fire under my rear. And I'm like, we're getting closer to 2024. It's to really start paying attention again for me and reporting on stuff that I see and, trying to get the truth out there. Like I said, it doesn't matter what side you're on or who you want. You want fairness. That's it. The bottom line is fairness. And I really believe we're not going to get fairness until we wipe everything out when we start from the beginning again. It's just the way it's going to be. And I want to remind you guys tonight too, 8 p.m. tonight, I will be watching this. Trump is going to be on CNN. It is going to be in New Hampshire. It is a town meeting, and I find this very interesting because it's going to be moderated by Caitlin Collins. She's the anchor of CNN this morning. But it is Mr. T's first appearance on CNN since the 2016 presidential campaign. It's going to be streamed live. There's the good news is there's no cable login necessary. Apparently, if you go on CNN.com's homepage, or the CNN apps on any mobile devices, you're going to be able to watch this live. Tomorrow, it's going to also be available on demand by the pay TV subscriptions via CNN.com. The CNN, I think it's OTT app it's called, and then other cable operator platforms. But this is where we're going to be tonight at 8 o'clock tonight, because I think this is going to be very interesting with Trump having a town hall live. They're going to take questions from people very, very well. Yes. Let me see. Jennifer H., good to see you. I'm getting weary from all the attacks with Mr. T. It's so sad they attack him. And that's true. Like I said, if somebody's done something wrong, in a representative, an ex-president, whatever, they need to be accountable. They are representatives, okay? But it seems very lopsided, and we know that. And like I said, it doesn't matter what side you're on. If you step back and you look at the big picture of what circulates in the media, what's going on in the media, it is always going after Mr. T. It's how many years later? How many years later, and they're still going after them and him. And I'm telling you, it only makes sense to me is they're going after him because they don't want him to run. Because like I said, I don't feel the Dems have anything positive that they can push forward, that they can debate Mr. T about, because he probably is going to win it. I'm going to get to that in a second because actually, Steve Bannon had some good stuff on today, too, that I want to talk about because I watched Bannon today. Because Stephen K. Bannon, not only is that name cool, he's a crazy guy, but he got some great information and he tells the truth. He tells it like it is. He's been through the mill and back. I just have a great respect and admiration for the guy. But so don't forget to catch CNN tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then also, you guys, Mr. T came out and made some comments about this because I thought, wow, this is really bizarre. This came out of nowhere. Like, why is Mr. T going on CNN? So basically, Mr. T came out and said that CNN, are rightfully desperate to get those fantastic Trump ratings once again. God, I love this guy's personality. I know he rubs a lot of people the wrong way, but he gets the job done. Hey, D-Dog, it's been a minute. Good to see you. He said, Mr. T said, they made me a deal I could not refuse. And this is so Mr. T. He said, this could be the beginning of a new, vibrant CNN with no more fake news, or it could turn into a disaster for all, including me. He said, let's see what happens. So Mr. T said they made him a deal that he couldn't pass up. And he's staying optimistic, and he's trying to tell the truth. Hey, it could be a great, fantastic new wave for CNN. They do need the ratings. We know how bad the ratings are with CNN. We know what a train wreck CNN is. CNN was good at one time long ago. he said, it won't be fake news anymore. I find it interesting, and I wanted to know how the dealings went on. Who called who, and what kind of deal did they make to get Mr. T to actually go on CNN? I find that very interesting and intriguing. And with Mr. T's comments, that added some extra intrigue to it. So anyhow, we'll see what happens tonight. I'll be watching it. I hope you guys watch it. It should be a good time. With Mr. T, I think it always is. It's never boring. Let's just say that. It's never a boring time with him. Let's see. The next thing I want to talk about, you got caught in a downpour to finish up trimming a rose bush. Yeah, you know what? That happened here yesterday, too. I was outside doing some yard work and stuff, camperman and Benjamin, and the same thing happened here. It was a downpour. Today, however, has been nice. Last I checked the temperature, it was 84 degrees here. So I actually got the backyard cleaned up pretty well. I've got the pool up and running. I stepped in it today. It was 80 degrees, a bit chilly. But I endured it, had to scrub the walls and do all that because you always have to summarize the pool before you can start swimming in it. So I got a lot done today. So like I said, once I got finished with work and then the backyard stuff, I started eating lunch and stuff and going over some headlines and stuff going on in the news. And that spurred me to go on. And I wanted to remind everybody as well that Trump was on tonight on CNN. So D-Dog is 77 and sunny there in Michigan. That's crazy good weather for May 10th in Michigan. That's awesome. My younger brother, well, actually both my brothers, I've got a brother who's a year younger than me, and then one that was the surprise child that's like 18 years younger than me. They're both camping up there in Michigan, northern Michigan. They've got campers and campsites set up. So they were sending pictures and stuff, and it looks like a good time. It always is when you camp like that. I'll have to get up there. I plan on getting up there hopefully by the end, probably towards the end of summer, and hopefully I'll be able to go camping and experience that with them. It really does look like a good time. They have a bunch of friends that meet them there, and it's a bunch of families. And I'm telling you, they just have a good time. They have an outdoor screen they pull down off the side of my brother's camper, and they play movies for the kids and stuff. And then they have all kinds of like water toys, dark games, all that kind of stuff. It reminds me of the good old days when we used to get together with family at family reunions, and they just do it at campsites and with campers. So it's pretty dang cool. Bethia, still at the gym. Stop talking and get your workout in and get your butt home, girl. I was supposed to go to the gym with her, meet her there tonight, but I decided to do this instead. So, Bethia, I'm glad you're at least listening. Just tell people at the gym you're listening to me so you can't talk. You got to get your workout in, and then you got to get home. Trump's on at 8 o'clock, girlie. You've got to get home to watch him. So the other story I was going to talk about, you guys, is the Biden family. Okay, so I saw the press conference today on the Biden family business dealings. I didn't know if you guys saw the press conference or not, but the House Oversight gave the press conference, and they revealed that 9 different Biden family members received wire transfers from foreign nationals via shell companies. Dun, 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 but they're going to go after Mr. T, right? So there are these 9 people listed that got this money as Hunter, James, Sarah, Haley, Kathleen, Melissa, a niece-nephew, another niece-nephew, and then a grandchild. So my question is, how do family members receive wire transfers from foreign nationals and shell companies on up-and-up businesses dealings? I didn't know family members were part of that. So Rep. Andy Biggs came out today and said that if the Biden family network was conducting legitimate business with foreign nationals and foreign companies, they would not be obstructing the House Oversight Committee's investigation and refusing to hand over banking information. Since they plead that they're innocent, they should just turn the documents over. Hey, Sharon Mercer, good to see you. Hello, hello. So once again, we've got documentation. The House Oversight Committee has found documentation on the Biden family and what's going on. And they're not handing over any of this documentation or paperwork to clear the air. They're saying and claiming they're innocent and all these dealings are clear and fine, but they aren't proving it by paperwork. It's just word of mouth, and we know that you really can't believe word of mouth with many people these days, can you? Benjamin, 76 and sunny here. Where are you at, Benjamin? I know that D-Dog's in Michigan, but I don't know where you're at, Benjamin. So then Byron Donalds, who is a rep from Florida, he came out and unloaded in the media. He was saying, this is easy pickings, you guys. The Biden family doesn't really have a business or business structure around their family. All they have is politics, and the family's getting money from various countries, foreign businesses, shell companies, and webs of LLCs. And he said, he told the press, he got on him. He said, this is easy pickings. Why aren't you out there doing your job, finding out what is really going on with all this stuff? It's out there. Go look for it. Instead, you're looking over here at silly, nonsensical stuff that doesn't make sense. And you've got the president of the United States and people in his family tied to all this stuff. So he's crazy. He's at home to him. Oh, suburban Chicago. Very good. Okay. I've been there before. I like Chicago. So Steve Bannon, this is where Bannon comes in. And so he fired off on the Biden family. He said that basically it was historic today with the House Oversight Committee's press conference on the Biden families. He called it criminal and unethical acts, because the Oversight Committee actually reviewed 170 Biden family suspicious activity reports from the banking industry. So it's not like it's one or two, or there could be a misunderstanding. The B family has 170 pieces of suspicious activity that's been reviewed from the banking industry. So he was saying, Bannon said this is unheard of number and shows clear criminal intent by the Biden family. So where's the outrage for this? Hey, Chris, it's good to see you, Chris. So basically, I was on a show, War Room, today, and I don't know if you guys watch War Room, but I would highly recommend it. Bannon's amazing. Like I said, he comes out with facts, details, paperwork, tie-ins. It's not just opinion. He tells it like it is, and I respect that in him. Bannon came out and said, and it's his opinion, he said he thinks Trump's going to win the primary. He's going to win the presidency again, and he's going to return to power. And he said to field strip this administrative state that selects and props up this incompetent, dangerous, radical thief, scumbag, JB, and his criminal family. So, and his belief is, and you know, he's got the ends, he's inside, he knows. He said that he believes that Mr. B was put in charge, and he was put in there to pivot in Asia. So with his connections and ties turning us into imperialism. So he was stating that because of his dealings and being in politics for decades and all his ties with China, Ukraine, all these people, that's why he was put in there. Not because he was competent to be able to understand what he was doing in there, but because of his ties and his long relationships that he's had with these people. So he believes that was the pivot into Asia, with everything being shipped over there, selling us out to China. He said Christopher Wray, this is Bannon saying, Christopher Wray, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, and Bill Barr all selected Biden for this very reason, that all these people knew about these dealings and connections, could have stopped everything going on, and they chose not to. And that's for a reason. So you have to remember, all these people were in position to be able to do something about this. They had the information. Heck, they had Hunter's laptop since 2019, and nothing's been done with it. Nothing. And you have to ask yourself why. If you know, whether you like I said, I can go over this a million times, whether you like Mr. T, whether you're conservative or not, you ask yourself why they did this. They didn't do anything about this. If they're going after Mr. T and believing somebody from 1990 on something he did, and it's signed, sealed, delivered, the jury deliberated 3 measly hours and convicted him, why aren't they going after all these other people? What about all these other laptops, this paper trail, all these wheelings and dealings? So what, D-Dog, did he really say he was a senator for 182 years? I missed that one. 182 years. Pretty good. That's a pretty long time for him being, what, in his 80s? Where'd the other years come from? So basically, since before birth, he's been a senator. That's crazy. So basically, he's saying that, and this was Bannon's theory, and he believes that it doesn't matter who they choose on the Dem side to run against Mr. T, that he's really already run. You think about, and I said this earlier when I started the show, you think about how many more votes they're going to have to get in, no matter who they bring in to go against Mr. T to try to beat him. Because Mr. B supposedly beat him by how many? 20 million. But he said basically they're doing everything to take Mr. T down. And, you know, you have to remember this too, you guys, and I really believe this, and it's unfortunate. But I believe anybody else that's brought in to run can be bought and sold and paid for, and probably will be. Because how is one person going to try to stand up and have the morals and values on that side and go against all of them? They're just going to blackball them. They're going to take them out, or, you know, put them aside. They all work as a team. Don't forget, evil works as a team to one person up and put them where they need to go. And that's what I think is so, and I've always said this about Mr. T, is he couldn't be bought or sold. He's already had it all. He could have had it all. He could have walked away. Can you imagine what would have happened if Mr. T finally said, I'm done with all this. I want nothing to do with this anymore. I've had enough. I'm going to go off, play golf. You make fun of me for being orange and playing golf anyhow. I'm just going to give up on everybody and everything. Y'all don't want to listen. You don't want to pay attention, and just let the country go down and see what happened. Can you imagine what would have happened if none of this, you know, they wouldn't have certainly kept attacking him and wouldn't be going after him. All this stuff that's going against him, all these different lawsuits and stuff that are still in play wouldn't be here anymore. This Carroll chick wouldn't be here anymore. But I can't imagine what this country would be facing. To me, it's bad enough the way that it is. But without him running and people that are standing up for the country and what's right, the Constitution, you know, the military, etc. Look what's happening to the military, for heaven's sakes. It's incredibly sad to me. So, 120 years, D-Dog. That's okay. We'll forgive you for that. So basically, I don't think, and you know, you don't have to agree with me, but I don't see the Dems having anything positive that they can brag about, talk about, debate on when it comes debate time, you guys. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't know what there is positive. It's not like inflation isn't there. It's there. The prices of everything skyrocketing. Not like our borders are secure, and I'm going to get to that as well. What's going on at our borders? It's not like everybody has jobs and they're well off and everything's going well for people. You look at the price of houses, you know, it's like parents are living with grandparents who are living with the grandchildren. Everybody has to pack in together because nobody can afford, not very many people can afford to have a home and a vehicle and jobs. I mean, you could work 2 and 3 jobs. And I think that, what did they say? Compared to our grandparents, the pricing is up 20% of what the bills are when you work a full-time job, when you have the basic bills compared to our grandparents. Like it's up, the inflated 20%. So basically they're saying there's no way to make your ends meet, to try to have a home, to try to have a vehicle, let alone 2 of them if both of you work. And that's really bad. So that definitely needs to be fixed. When Mr. T was in, everybody was doing so much better. People could get jobs. We had a little bit of slush money, so to say, where you could take a day trip, you could take a vacation, and all that stuff. Hey, Kellen, it's good to see you. You could have all that stuff. Now people are like, can't even afford to buy eggs for a while there. It's incredible. So if there's something the Dems can run on that is going to be appealing to America, I'd like to know what it is, because I certainly don't see it. So the next thing I wanted to get to is Title 42. It expires tomorrow. Okay. Well, there's already thousands of migrants waiting to head into America. You can watch the videos online, and to me, it's scary and horrific. It's horrible. The mass amounts of people that are waiting to plow through, that are still actually plowing through. It's so bad that the Border Patrol ship made the decision to authorize all the Border Patrol sectors to begin safe street releases of migrants to communities across the border if the NGO shelters and CBP facilities don't have the capacity to hold them. So we already know that there's not enough room to house the amounts of people. It's just massive. You see aerial shots of these people, and they're lined up 50 people deep, and it seems like miles long, waiting to come through. It's all across the border, and some are still getting through. They're not even waiting. It's terrifying to me, because all along the border, we've been hearing day in and day out. If you watch Frank Lopez, Border Patriot, who I have, I put his website on Facebook page, on my Facebook page, but you can look him up. He does live reporting from the border constantly. I've been following him for a very long time, way back when I was at that other channel and got introduced to him. He's not given up the fight, and he shows you what's actually going on. He just did a video with a bunch of, Border Patrol agents and so-called police pulling over and arresting a lot of people. But the problem is, with the mass amounts of people trying to get in, there's not enough agents to help out. Now, if the administration really cared about the safety of Americans, safety of these migrants trying to come over, why isn't the military along the border? Why would he let Title 42 expire? There's nothing. They act as if nothing's going down there. How many times have we heard that the border is sealed, that the border is secure? We've heard that over and over again. Oh, really, Kim? It was reinstated? Yay, I didn't hear that. Also, heavy gunfire at one of the international bridges between Texas and Mexico. National Guard at the border standing in the way of illegals and blocking entry. Wow, thank you for telling me that. I was trying to look and see if anything happened with that before I got on, and I did not. So thank you for filling us in on that. Very, very good. Well, the thing is, we're going to have to pray, like I say, and we always say to pray. So the National Guard's there, she said, standing in the way. So let's see what happens over the next couple of days, because the thing is, all those people are there backed up waiting. And once that gets wind that that's happened, it's not going to, I don't think it's going to be pretty. It's not like all these millions or thousands, I won't say millions, thousands and thousands of migrants are just going to turn around and go away. I don't think that's going to happen. And we have to remember that in the dark of night, this has happened before under this administration, where they just took busloads of these people and they dropped them off in cities, okay, all over. Hey, Kim, good to see you. So they did that. So I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but we need to keep an eye on it, because it's quite possibly that in the coming days, we can see a lot of mass releases at bus stops, gas stations, supermarkets, all across communities along these illegal crossings, because they're still continuing to surge through these areas. And, actually, the truth is, we know what this means for our cities, our jobs. You can't support the mass amounts of people that want to come here, let alone the ones that are already here. We haven't been able to take care of our own. The homeless community is massive out there. The last time this happened where we saw the planes and we saw the different buses dropping people off all across the country, in different locations. It's a detriment to society because we have to remember it isn't all good people that are coming through. These are people with health issues, sicknesses, okay, bringing sicknesses through, because it was, at last count, was it 152 or more countries that these people were coming in from? It's not like it's family members. It's not like it's a stabilized family looking for a better life. Those are the people that are going through the right way, that are trying to make passage through the right way. These people are criminals. Some of them have been released from prison. We know that the fentanyl and everything, all these drug czars have taken control over a lot of things. We look at the rates of fentanyl and what's happened with our people and our communities with that drug being rampant around here. They're at all record highs. So like I said, that is an awesome thing that it got reinstated. I have to find out about that for sure. But we still have all these thousands upon thousands of migrants, massive numbers of people trying to get here. And like I said, I don't see them packing up, turning around and going back home, because they wouldn't have come this way on this journey for any good reason, just to turn around and go away, unfortunately. And, I'm all about people coming here. I'm all about people coming here the right way, though. It does, and we can't pass up this. It is a disservice to all the people that have come here the right way, okay, that went through the legal waiting, the paperwork, all the years of waiting. It is an insult to them, and it gives them a bad name. You've heard these people speak out about it and say, hey, I still have family members that haven't been able to come through yet. I want them to be able to come through. All these illegal people, or these people that are trying to cut through the loopholes and stuff, or do it illegally, it's not fair and not right. So to me, my personal opinion is this administration allowing this to happen under the ruse that it's all good, innocent people is BS. And we all know about, none of them have got the, what we all had to do years ago, right? They wanted us to do. So like I said, it's different diseases and different sicknesses they're bringing in. It's not always the healthy community. Like I said, it's prison people. And I'm not saying that all people that go to prison are bad and can't be reformed. But if they're trying to get in here in a bad way, not a legal way, that doesn't show that they're reformed to me. And I really don't want them here. We watch Frank Lopez, the Border Patriot, and you watch his channel and you look at the kind of people that are coming through. You look at the chaos that is being caused in those towns for those families that are along that border. It is unfair, it is unjust, and it is sickening that this administration would allow this to happen. It's wrong. It's just there's no understanding it, in my opinion, and it is my opinion. So let me see. D-Dog said that the majority of illegals are military-age men, upper teens to low 30s. Isn't that pleasant? What does that tell you right there? Kim said that it was the International Bridge auto fire coming from the Mexican side. Very scary. Yeah, it seems like things are definitely ramping up. So like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see what Mr. T has to say tonight at 8 o'clock on CNN with this town hall. We know that he's been putting out on social media different promos, campaigns, whatever you want to call them, but different statements also of what's happening with this administration in this country and their facts. Agree with them or not agree with them. But like I said, I just don't believe any of this administration's policies have been to benefit the citizen at all. You look at the state of affairs that we're in on all the different levels, from the school systems on. And you guys, I don't want to repeat it all and cause fatigue, but we all know we are in this fight. It's a serious fight. It's on all different levels and stuff. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was Tucker Carlson. So maybe you guys have seen this, that he announced his return to media, and it is going to be Twitter. He said he's going to make Twitter his platform. And I will say that Elon Musk came out in a statement and stated that Tucker's going to be held accountable to all the standards that everybody else is, that, it's no favoritism or whatsoever. But I find that very interesting, and Twitter has been very exciting. I joined Twitter, actually, it was a year ago yesterday, and I wasn't on any social medias but Facebook. I glanced at YouTube every now and again. Twitter has been very active, and I really like Twitter a lot. Truth Social is good as well, but Twitter, like I said, you can get all different sides. There are some on Truth Social as well, but Twitter, with that whole freedom of speech thing, you can really see a lot of variety of people and the mental state of a lot of people. And it can be very scary, actually. But like I said, I think being informed is important. Staying in your own little bubble of life with people that are like thinkers doesn't give you an education and doesn't give you knowledge and strength and power. It's very narrow-minded. So when you venture out there and you see the attitudes of people that don't necessarily agree with with what you agree with, that's fine. But the thing is, a lot of them yell and scream and name call still. And I was very optimistic and hoping that people would have something more intelligent to say or do instead of just calling people names. Like I said, that goes out in middle school, name calling. I wanted to out there searching for some facts, some standards, some morals, some integrity from other sides, and it's hard to find it. I'm pressed to find it. Like I said, I think we all want to agree on the same thing. We want a safe country. We want freedom of speech. We want everybody to have equal rights. We don't want things shoved down our throat. And there's a lot of things that are being shoved down our throat these days that aren't godly or holy at all, that are detrimental to children. I get nauseated every day when I look at some of the stuff that's out there, and I've said that before about the children. We have to make a stand and unite some way, somehow. And if the children can't bring us together, for heaven's sakes, I don't know what's going to be able to bring us together. They're the innocent children, and children are innocent. So, like I said, Tucker announced his arrival on Twitter. I'm not sure when I didn't hear when he's going to start it up. I'm not sure, but I thought it was very interesting, this statement, NBC's statement on Tucker announcing he would be on Twitter. NBC's reaction was this. They said, will anybody be able to police what Carlson says, or is this the point? Is it just a free-for-all? And Brian Seltzer stated, yes, apparently is. This is a free-for-all. So my thing is, what are you talking about? Policing Tucker and what he has to say. That statement alone is very scary to me. It's freedom of speech. It's who when he says who's going to police him, who's put in charge of policing, who's going to say what's right and wrong, and how is that freedom of speech? It makes no sense at all. So I thought, Brian Seltzer, I don't think you've learned a lesson. You're still bought and sold for, and you're pandering for breath, because I believe that you're going to be going away soon, very, very soon with CNN. If Mr. T is his way and the ratings go up, maybe they won't want you there anymore, and that kind of attitude where you want people policed, which means zipped, mouth taped. If you don't believe in what we believe, then you don't need to be heard. And I think those days are over. This whole censoring should have been gone a long time ago, but it's not. But it looks like it might be going that way, because when you have all these different platforms and you have these major hitters like Tucker Carlson leaving these platforms and going to something like Twitter, and what they garner on these different platforms financially, people-wise, they bring in the dollars, they bring in the people, they bring in everything wherever they go. Then the places like CNN, who were mega horse back in the day, are really insignificant. I think it was CNN that their online stuff kind of went kabunkel not that long ago, because they couldn't hold an audience. They couldn't hold numbers. I mean, you've got social media platforms where people come out on YouTube channels just like I'm doing, and you can find out information and you can give it and deliver it to people. We all across the world, we are becoming the news. You know, and you don't need, like I said, a news background. You get up there, you open up a mic and you open up camera. If you're not good at speaking, all you have to do is sit there and read off of somebody else's stuff, as far as saying, hey, CNN said this, Fox News said this, you know, Tucker said this. What I'm trying to say is the information is flying all over the place, because it's not just a select few talking heads on a few networks anymore that are providing and feeding us information. It's your everyday person all across these different platforms. And then you've got major hitters going to these platforms, sharing the information. So they can't shut everybody up, can they? So I think that the censoring thing, hopefully is going away with these new platforms and these new things coming up. And that's exciting to me. It's a new time. It's a new era. Let me see. Dave said, did Elon Musk really buy Google? Heard it on Nino today. I haven't heard anything about that. There were rumors and jokes that go around that he's going to buy it. And people keep saying on Twitter, hey, Elon, why don't you just go ahead and buy Google and stuff? So I didn't hear anything about that. What happened? Kim, I can't either, Camper. I shouldn't have said anything about Title 42 without substaining that info. Sorry. What did Kim, did you say that you're not for sure that happened? So you were looking for a camperman on Gateway. And camperman, have a good night. Get your insulin. God bless you. Thanks for stopping by. You know what, Kim? That's okay. It's okay. We make mistakes. We correct them. If that's not true, if it's not out there, we'll find out. You know what? I think Trump will probably talk about it tonight on the what do you call that? What did I say it was? On CNN tonight for the I can't remember what the name of it is now, but Trump will probably talk about it. It's okay. You know, like I said, there's always hope. We just keep spreading what's going on, the information, and there's always hope. With God, there's always hope. God's always one. I always resort back to that, because you do need the strength of the Holy Spirit and the God driven strength and knowledge to get through this life in this crazy train of a world that we're living in. Definitely. Stuff just keeps flying. It keeps going. But you know what? We're nearing 2024 and we're nearing the end of it. Town hall, that's what I couldn't think of. I was saying civic hall. Kim, I was coming up with all different names in my head. It just left me for some reason. But so pretty much that's all I had, you guys. I know it was a lot. But like I said, it was a crazy, crazy cycle for a Wednesday. It's a wacky Wednesday. I think the last time I had news, it was on a Wednesday too. So you know, it's pretty interesting. Like I said, I am going to watch the town hall. If anything significant comes out of it, then I'll go back on. If not, then, you know, I'll just see you guys when I see you guys. But I want to thank each and every one of you once again for stopping by, listen to me, put out what I put out this afternoon and evening for some places. And I hope it's about dinner time for me, a little bit later than that for dinner. But I hope you all have a wonderful dinner, a wonderful rest of your evening. Catch the town hall. And like I said, if anything substantial comes out of it with Mr. T and what he has to say, I'll go back on. But otherwise, I will talk to you guys very soon. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me on Tammy Nation. Don't forget to like the videos, please. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I do have a backup channel. Everything's in the description. My backup channel, Tammy Nation 2. If you haven't joined there, please do that and share this out. You know, I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll talk soon, you guys. Love you all. Bye-bye. Have a great rest of your night if I don't talk to you. Bye.